For the last couple of days, Nintendo Switch 2 rumors and leaks have been all over the internet as people have begun speculating and discussing over what the next Nintendo system after the Nintendo Switch could be like. And this all started after the Pokemon Presents that we had early last week, where they announced the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, but it was after getting the information about the DLC where people noticed that there was actually somebody on 4chan who days before this presentation happened leaked a lot of information about this Pokemon DLC that ended up being completely true, but then also details about the next Nintendo system that potentially could be coming after the Switch. Now, I've already made detailed videos going over this leak and even the follow-up information that we got from the same leaker, clarifying the stuff that he said before. So if you haven't seen those videos, there should be a little eye up in the corner right now if you want to go ahead and click on that and catch up with everything in terms of the real information that we have so far. But in this video, we're going to be talking about some more information about this Nintendo Switch 2 or the next system after the Nintendo Switch coming from another reputable leaker. And the person that I'm talking about is Jeff Grubb, and it seems like he has inside sources who tell him information, and from time to time he'll have like rumors about things that he's been hearing, and most of the time the stuff that he does say does end up being true, and sometimes he gets a little stuff wrong in terms of like the actual time frame that stuff could be announced, but in terms of the stuff that he actually does talk about, for the most part it pretty much always does end up being true, which is why he is a pretty reputable source. The first time that I heard about Jeff Grubb was actually way back in 2020, where if you guys remember, that was the year that we had no mainline Nintendo Directs at all, and for the first couple of months throughout the year, we were just kind of going crazy, wondering exactly what Nintendo was planning. So I remember it was like in March, Jeff Grubb put out this article saying that he's been hearing stuff about a Nintendo Direct and it's going to be happening on March 20th, and everybody was like, there's no way, nothing's happening, like it looks like it's not going to happen, but he kept saying it's going to happen, and then there was nothing announced the day before, so we were like, if they didn't announce anything today, what makes you think that there's going to be something tomorrow? And he even tweeted saying like it's still happening tomorrow, so people were just kind of going really crazy, but he did end up being right because we still did end up getting something that day, which was a Nintendo Direct Mini. And there's other things that he's leaked as well. Last year, one of the biggest things that he was talking about was how he heard that there was going to be like a large-scale Metroid Prime remake / remaster type of thing, which was going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. And that sounded really weird to everyone because for the longest time, we were all kind of just hoping for a Metroid Prime trilogy, which would have all 3 games to play to have people ready for Metroid Prime 4. So when this started coming out in terms of a rumor from Jeff Grubb saying that it was going to be just Metroid Prime 1, but it was actually going to be pretty ambitious and it was actually going to remake a lot of stuff instead of just being like a simple upscaling in terms of the resolution, it sounded really kind of weird, but look what ended up happening in that last Nintendo Direct. We really did get just Metroid Prime 1, just the first game, remastered, but it is like a really, really good remaster and honestly one of the best looking games on the Nintendo Switch. And so recently, Jeff Grubb has kind of just been appearing on podcasts and talking with people about the next Nintendo system. And while he doesn't really have any like actual inside information, as even in the clips that I'll show you, he's basically kind of just saying like stuff that he feels and stuff that he's kind of heard in terms of rumors from rumors. So he's not actually like saying confirmed for a fact that this is going to happen. I still do find his comments a little bit interesting, and I do want to give you guys my thoughts on them. So the first thing that I feel like we should talk about is the time frame for when this next Nintendo system could actually get announced, and Jeff Grubb did make a pretty interesting comment about it. He did say that they're just kind of rumors that he's been hearing, but I do want to talk about it, so first take a look at this clip right here.
I don't know. This is, it is just kind of almost more frustrating than anything else to hear this yet again, hear more evidence that a new Switch is happening yet again. I will say, like, unconfirmed, I haven't been able to verify it. This is like, I'm once again hearing yes later this year don't go write your headlines, please, because it's like I can't verify it, so you would just be going on a rumor of a rumor. But it's like, man, why do things have to start lining up in that direction yet again? Because it feels like Nintendo doesn't even necessarily know. I think they do know they will one day have some sort of Switch follow-up, so why wouldn't the Pokemon company get this game ready? Because they're going to want to keep selling this game on that system. And I think that once they have both the DLCs out, they would likely repackage that game as one thing with all the DLC, sell that version, and that's the version that can go on the new Switch or be like labeled as for the new Switch and, sell for years on there. All that makes a lot of sense, and you would do that work when you're doing that DLC so that you could just have it ready to go, even if that system's not ready to go. So I'm like, regardless of what I'm hearing, I still feel like there's a million reasons why this is not necessarily meaning that we're going to get a new Switch in winter of 2023.
So yeah, in terms of the time frame for this announcement, he was kind of saying something about how he's been hearing things that the announcement is going to happen this year, which honestly, I think that this could actually happen now, because the one thing that I feel like is that we're not going to be seeing this next Nintendo system this year. Like, I think if anybody has the assumption that we're going to be getting like a brand new Nintendo system in our hands by the time that the year is going to end, I think you're definitely going to be wrong. I don't think that we're going to be seeing any new Nintendo system this year at all. I do think that it's possible though that we're going to be seeing something early next year, and that's even what the Pokemon leaker was kind of implying at, which there was going to be something coming out in like early 2024. So if that's the case, then I feel like if there is a new system coming out in early 2024, they would still need to do the reveal kind of late into this year. I feel like they can't just wait until 2024 to start revealing this new system and do everything in just next year if it's going to be coming out in early 2024. So that's why I feel like if he is talking about how he's hearing things about how there's going to be another like reveal happening later this year, it could also explain maybe why Nintendo's second half of this year just seems to be so kind of bland. Like, we don't really know any like big games that are coming out for the second half of 2023. Like, think about it. After Zelda, we have Pikmin 4, but what other big games are coming after Pikmin 4 like this year on the Switch? Like, I don't know, like we have DLC for like Pokemon, and we have like Xenoblade DLC, Splatoon DLC, and all of that, but we don't have like actual games coming out. So maybe the reason for that is because they're going to be announcing a new system. So I could totally see that happening. And this would also make it just like what they did with the original Nintendo Switch, where if you guys remember, in 2016, in October, we had like that reveal trailer that happened where it said, first look at Nintendo Switch, and man, this video makes me so nostalgic now looking at it, but this video came out, and I remember it because it showed off the NX for the first time, and everybody was so hyped to see it, and it gave us a look at what this next system was going to be like, in terms of how you could play it on the TV, and how you could take it with you wherever you want. But after that video, we had no other information about the Nintendo Switch until the next year when we had that January presentation, and then the system came out in March. So I feel like they could do something along those lines where maybe in like September or October of this year, we're just going to see like the video get uploaded where it'll be like Nintendo Switch 2 first look, or whatever they decide to call it, and it'll be like a 2-minute video kind of just showing like what the system is going to look like, maybe like a little teaser at some of the new games on it, maybe what the controls look like, and just stuff like that. And then we're probably going to get like the full unveiling like early 2024, and then the system could probably come out in like March or April, or whenever Nintendo decides to do it in early 2024. I think unless the system is coming out late into 2024, like if it's going to be like a holiday system that's going to come out in like November next year, waiting all the way till 2024 to reveal it for the first time wouldn't really make a lot of sense. Like, if the system is going to be coming out in March or April, and if they're waiting till like January, February 2024 to show it for the very first time, it would just be cutting it too close. You do need to have like a little bit of kind of a range to kind of give people some time to get excited for it and have people talking about it. So I feel like revealing it this year and then having it come out early next year would make the most sense. But now I want to talk about what this next Nintendo system could be like, because Jeff Grubb actually made some pretty interesting comments about how he feels about this next Nintendo system. So take a look at this clip right here.
Still on the table that we get something Switch, not Pro, but maybe even not necessarily Switch 2. Maybe something like in between that is definitely like an actual upgrade in terms of hardware, but in terms of the way that Nintendo positions it, it feels like they could try to do like to straddle the line a little bit and do like a super Switch that continues the generation in a way that is more significant than they've done since the Game Boy Color, but even more significant than that. And the thinking there clearly is they have Nintendo Switch Online, they have a lot of subscribers, they have a lot of people who are spending a lot of money buying video games, and they don't want to disrupt or lose any of that momentum because all the other companies have figured out how to maintain it. And they don't want to be the one company like restarting from zero. We all know that they've said as much publicly in earnings reports that they don't want to restart that. The whole idea is to now build on that going forward.
Now, I should clarify that what he's saying here is not like inside information or rumors that he's been hearing, but just his own personal opinion for how he feels about this, and I do find it still pretty important because I do feel like he would have his own reasons to believe why he does for the stuff that he says about this. And I find it interesting because he talked about how he sees the next Nintendo system as not necessarily like a Nintendo Switch 2 or even a Switch Pro, but like a new experience or something in between. And I find that to be really interesting because for the longest time, we've kind of just been asking for a more powerful Nintendo Switch with some slightly better features and kind of better improvements, because I really feel like Nintendo's kind of found something really special with the Nintendo Switch. I think that it's really kind of just changed how a lot of people play video games. Personally, for me, I don't really take my Nintendo Switch Switch with me a lot of places. Like, it's pretty much docked like 75% of the time. I rarely play it in handheld mode, but I know for a lot of people, it's like a 50-50 type of thing where they really take the system with them wherever they go, or they exclusively play it in handheld, or some people just play it only on the TV. It's a really special system. And I feel like for the longest time, people kind of just want that same exact system again, but just with more powerful features, maybe some better online stuff, and kind of just making the system a little bit better so it can actually run better games on it, have games that actually have better FPS, better resolution, and stuff like that. But the way that he's talking about it here, maybe the next Nintendo system could actually be like a completely new experience, or it's actually going to be some type of different experience where it's still going to be like the Switch, but not exactly just like another Switch that we're going to be getting just like this one. I do think though that the next Nintendo system is going to be keeping the Switch branding. Just like how Jeff said in the clip, Nintendo is aware that they have created a huge install base of Nintendo Switch users. There's like 100 million plus people out there right now with a Nintendo Switch, millions of those people who pay for Nintendo Online and all of that. So to just abandon them with their next system and start everything from zero again, where they have like this new system with a completely new name, and you know, the old games don't work on it anymore, you have a new Nintendo Online, new Nintendo accounts, it would just be really dumb. So I'm sure that they're going to be much more careful this time and try to make everything like seamlessly go over from one system to the next system, just like how we've seen Sony be able to do that with PlayStation 4 and bringing over all of their players to the PlayStation 5. But yeah, just with the way that he was kind of describing it, with how it's going to be something in between where it's going to have like a new experience also, I don't really need anything like that personally with the next system. Like, I don't know about you guys, like if you guys are hoping for like a new type of experience again, like how the Wii introduced motion controls and how the Switch let you be able to take games outside of your home and stuff. Personally, I don't really need anything like that. Like, I'm just happy with a more powerful Nintendo Switch that could allow me to be able to play games at 60 FPS and have better quality and stuff, and just still be able to take my games with me on the go if I really want to, and still be able to play them on the TV, maybe having some better online capabilities and stuff like that. Like, I don't really need them to like really go kind of crazy with like a whole new type of experience, but I don't know, maybe Nintendo will actually try to do something along those lines, because we do see that with every new system that they do release, they do try to do something completely new from it, and don't really just do something very standard like with PlayStation where it's just the same system but with better features and better specs and all of that. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that is pretty much all the information that we have right now about the next Nintendo system, or the Nintendo Switch 2. And it really kind of just seems now with this Pokemon Presents leak and talking about it, and just in general, like the Nintendo Switch's birthday, I think the 6th birthday for the system was literally yesterday from the time that I'm making this video. The system is starting to enter its twilight years now, and it definitely does seem like the whole Nintendo Switch era of like insane hype and crazy new games coming out for the system is starting to die down. And yeah, I feel like everybody is kind of just getting ready for what's coming next. So it'll be exciting to see what Nintendo has planned moving forward. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button, and also subscribe to the channel as well, as I'm going to be having some more Nintendo videos very soon. And also comment down below and let me know what you guys think about this. How are you guys feeling about all of this information from Jeff Grubb? How do you feel about the next Nintendo system potentially being something in between and potentially having like a new experience, and the possibility that we could potentially be seeing the announcement later this year? What do you guys think about all of it? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros. And Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.